and welcome to Man on Football Manager with me, Dan. In today's experiment, I will be putting Cardiff, Swansea and Wrexham back into the Welsh League to see how they will do. As always, for this to work, I tend to move the recently relegated teams out of the league. So unfortunately, even though it's usually only 2 teams that gets relegated, today we will be saying goodbye to Aberystwyth Town, Flint Town United and Airbus UK Broughton. Winning this league gets you in the Champions League first qualifying round. Then I think up to possibly like 7th place, there's a playoff to see who goes into the Europa Conference League first round. So it'll be interesting to see how well Cardiff, Swansea and Wrexham can do in these qualifiers. And I'm now going to fast forward to the end of this first season and I will see you there. So here we are at the end of the first season. It's June the 4th, 2023, and this experiment has gone exactly how I thought it was going to go. Cardiff, Swansea and Wrexham have taken the top 3 spots. Interestingly though, Cardiff is the champions. They won 27 games, drew 3 and lost twice, with 84 points. Close behind them with only 3 points behind was Swansea, and Wrexham came 3rd place with 68 points. And spoiler alert, TNS got 4th place, but let's see how they did in terms of the playoffs. Yeah, they only won 1-0, but they're in, but they still get a conference place. Probably used to a Champions League place, but they're still getting into Europe though. So this season, Cardiff got the most goals with 71, Swansea behind with 57 and Wrexham with 54. They had the most shots with 655. They had the fewest shots against, 177. But Swansea had the most clean sheets with 20 and the fewest conceded with 13. And Cardiff here with the most goals was Kaba with 16 and the most assists was Joe Rawls with 12. And here we have Ryan Alsop with 16 clean sheets for Cardiff too. Just quickly looking at the Welsh Cup, and Cardiff didn't win it. They lost to Swansea in the quarter-final. How well did Swansea do? So it was Swansea that won the Welsh Cup. They beat Bala 1-0, and let's just quickly look at their team. They had 11 shots with 2 on target, not too great, but they got the job done. And I just thought I'd quickly look at Wrexham, and they lost to Swansea too in the Welsh Cup, but it was the semi-final for these guys. So it was a good season for Cardiff. They won the league, they're in Champions League, and Swansea won a cup too. Wrexham didn't do well, but they could get better, they could get stronger. And we're going to find out now when I go to season 2. This is going to be a 3-season experiment to see how well they do in Europe. Catch you in a second. So we are now at the end of the second season, guys, and it's going to be a big change because Connors Quay has won the playoff. They have got 4th place, but who has got the top 3 spots? Let's have a look, shall we? Okay, so it hasn't changed. Well, it has, slightly. So Cardiff and Swansea have switched roles this time, and Swansea have won convincingly. They got 88 points, won 29, drew 1 and only lost 2, whereas Cardiff lost 3 more games than them. Wrexham still hold on to 3rd, which is great for them. Connors Quay came 6th, but still managed to get a playoff spot. That's incredible. With only 38 points, might I add. So the team overview this season, Cardiff got the most goals again, but with 70. Close behind, very close behind actually, with Swansea and Wrexham joint second on 69 goals. Swansea had the most shots for and against, the fewest against even, best pass completion, most possession, most clean sheets and fewest conceded. Swansea have had a hell of a season. Paul Mullin though this time got the most goals this season with 17 goals. Jay Fulton for Swansea got 15 assists. And Fisher got the most clean sheets with 23, wow. And the fewest conceded, he only conceded 5 in the whole 28 games, that's insane. So it's a big season for Swansea. How did they do in Europe? And all the other competitions, might I add. Let's have a look. Well, they did not win the Welsh Cup this season. They were knocked out by Cardiff in the quarter-final. But how did they do in Europe? So in the Europa Conference League, they lost to Bode, I think that is, in the 3rd qualifying round on aggregate. That's surprising, I thought they would have gone a little bit further. So in the Welsh Cup for Cardiff this season, they lost to Wrexham in the semi-final on penalties. So we know Wrexham are in the final. Did they win? We're going to find out shortly. But let's find out how Cardiff did in the Champions League. So they lost to Olympiacos in the third qualifying round on aggregate. Does that mean they go to Europa? It does. Okay, so in Europa League, they came fourth in the Europa League Group F, and I'm assuming that's the end. Well, it would be, clearly, because they're at the bottom of it. Silly Dan. So in the final of the Welsh Cup, Connah's Quay were against Wrexham. Who do you think won? No need to wait any longer because I'm going to show you right now. Let's find out. So Wrexham won the Welsh Cup this season 3-0. Very convincing. So each of these three teams since moving to this league have won a trophy. I just hope that they can go further in the European places. And we're going to find out in the third and final season. I will catch you in a second. So we are in the third and final season. It's the 8th of June 2025, and spoiler alert, Bala got the last qualifying place to the Conference League. They beat TNS 1-0, well done to Bala, but how did the league go? Well, spoiler, you could have just seen by the side, it says Cardiff won, but here's the league table, folks. Cardiff are champions again. They won 29 games, they got 88 points this time. It's back and forth between Cardiff and Swansea, and Wrexham are holding on to that third place. Fair play to them. So looking at Cardiff, and in the Welsh Cup they lost to Wrexham again in the quarter-final this time. But how did they get on in the Conference League? They lost to Almira in the fourth qualifying round on aggregate. It's unfortunate these teams are not doing well in Europe. But how did Swansea do in the Champions League? Let's have a look. So Swansea's first time in the Champions League, and they lost to, I can't pronounce that, is that Olympia? In the qualifying round, or the second qualifying round on aggregate. But then also lost in Europa in the Europa League playoff on aggregate too. And in the Welsh Cup, they won it. They beat Wrexham this season. They've won this cup twice now. Fair play to Swansea. But that means Wrexham didn't win a trophy this season. Or did they? Because they're still in Europe. I didn't check. Let's have a look. And I forgot to show you guys Wrexham last season. They lost in the second qualifying round. And they lost again this season in the first qualifying round to two teams I cannot pronounce. So I apologise for that. In the league, I'm not going to go through this time. But yeah, it's a sea of Cardiff. They've pretty much done everything but best pass completion. Which is insane. And James Kroll, I think it's pronounced, is the top goal scorer with 19 this season. And Kieran Evans from Connah's Quay, is it? No, Bala, silly me. Kieran Evans from Bala has got the most assists with 11. And Allsop is doing massive business down here. 25 clean sheets this season. And only conceding 3. What a player. He loves this Welsh league, doesn't he? Wow. One interesting fact I saw while looking, Frank Lampard is now Cardiff's manager. That's insane. And I just want to quickly show you their transfers as well. If for the people that are interested in this, they haven't spent a lot of money. 17 grand, 150 grand and 375 this season. Swansea has Russell Martin as their manager and they haven't spent much either. Nothing in the first season, 1,000 second season and 1,000 again in this most recent one. And last but not least, Wrexham, you've got Phil Parkinson as the manager, and in transfers they've spent hardly anything. Nothing the first season, 140 quid in the second season, and 19 grand in this most recent one. So there we have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this experiment. Cardiff came out the best, I think. They won 2 leagues and 1 trophy in the Welsh Cup, whereas Swansea won 2 Welsh Cups and 1 league. Wrexham won only 1 Welsh Cup. I feel like 2 leagues outbeats the 2 cups, so Cardiff is the winner in my eyes, but that's up to you. You can tell me in the comments below if you think different. But also, if you have any suggestions of some experiments you would like me to do, please let me know in the comments below. Also, while you're there, throw me a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that notification bell, and I will see you next time. Catch you in a bit. Peace.